What's up, everybody? My name is Kier, and you are watching the important things that really matter. Today, we're going to be talking about the passport bros. I got more things for you to be concerned about before you go overseas. All right, before we get into it, would you please like, would you please share, would you please subscribe? Because I'm trying to get this channel to grow. Appreciate any help that you can give me. Now, let's get to it. Now, this one, we're talking about passport bros. More things to be concerned about as you are in your quest and looking for a wife overseas. Hopefully you're looking for a wife overseas. Don't make no sense to go way over somewhere and you're just looking for a girlfriend over there. That don't make no sense, matter of fact. But anyway, one of the things you need to take into consideration that you need to be really seriously looking at is that if you have a person that you are interested in marrying, one of the things you better make sure of, you better make sure that they're not pregnant before they either get over here or while you seeing them. And there have been situations where a man may have been dating a woman overseas and was in the process of marrying her. And then the guy later on finds out that she was pregnant when she gets in town, which to me is absolutely crazy. Why would you not let the guy know that you're pregnant before you get on the plane to even get over to this country? To me, I don't understand that one. I've heard of one particular situation where this guy was going to marry this woman. I guess he was bringing her to the country. She was on her way over here. She got over here and got off the plane. And I think from what a friend of mine told me, this particular guy had told me that this woman got off the plane and she was about 8 or 9 months pregnant, which to me is absolutely insane. Why would you come to another country being 8 or 9 months pregnant with somebody else's baby and you just, I guess for whatever particular reason, you didn't think that that was important to tell anybody? I don't get that one in the least bit. Well, I don't know what the guy did. I know me personally, if somebody did something like that, I'd be like, well, you turn right back around, get on the next plane and go home. I don't have no money. You don't have no money? It's not my problem. There's nothing I can do about that. Why would you come to another country pregnant to the guy that wants to marry you and you are pregnant by some other man? I don't get it. To me, this sounds completely insane. Anyway, men, what I suggest you do anyway is don't even bring your foreign wife or the woman that you're interested in. Do not even bring her to this country. You go to her country and you live in her country. Meanwhile, while you're planning on doing these things, you need to set up some type of business where you can continue to generate income. You need to set up some type of business where you can continue to generate income with you even being over in somebody else's country. Don't bring anybody that you're interested in to this country, because if you bring the woman over here in this country who has traditional values, who was raised with a mother and a father in the home, who knows what the roles of the mother, who knows what the roles of the father are, you do not want to bring that person to this country. They'll get into the country and get brainwashed, okay, by the television, by the media, by other people, get exposed to all this craziness, which is a direct result of a primary reason of the destruction of the family here in the United States. And for those of you who don't know, the divorce rate in the United States is 70%. 70%, 70, okay? So anyway, you don't want to bring them back over here to get brainwashed, and now you got a problem. It happened to a friend of mine. He made that major mistake. He's planning on not making that mistake again. He brought his wife over here from Ethiopia. She gets over here, she starts working, and that's all she wrote. She starts working, starts watching television, starts talking to other people, she starts getting brainwashed. Next thing you know, he's having all types of problems. He wasn't having no problems at all when she was in her country. So this is the point that I'm making. You find somebody you want to marry, you go over there and live. Then you have her society and her family, which those countries over there still have some form of a family structure. And that's what you want. You want a family structure. You don't want to bring somebody over here and next thing you know, they're ripping the family apart. They just come home one day and just say, I don't want to be married no more, which I know at least 3 different people who were married and their wives came home and just said one day, I don't want to be married no more. And the man is like, we got kids, we got a house, we got kids. You just gonna walk away? Well, yeah, She just walked away from the marriage. Same thing. I know at least 3 different situations where the wives came home, said I didn't want to be married no more. They didn't get no reason. Well, basically we know it's basically they want to run the street, be out in the street and stuff. So it happened to another guy I know. Same exact thing. You don't want to bring your wife from a foreign country over here to where people think it's okay and just come home one day and say, I don't want to be married no more. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. There's a total disregard of the wedding vows. There's a total disregard of the church. There's a total disregard for God Almighty that created the institution of marriage. So you do not want to bring your wife to the United States, okay? You need to go over there with them. Number one, make sure they're tested to make sure that they are not pregnant. Do that. There's this African guy that came over here to the United States and left his wife in Africa. Well, he came over here to get housing together for his wife and family, to get a decent paying job, and to have a brand new life for him, his wife, and the family. Anyway, the guy finally got his wife over here. He was going back and forth maybe 2 or 3 times a year. Brought his wife over here. They were letting him into the United States, letting his wife into the United States, but there was one more test that had to be taken before the whole family can come into the United States. You're asking, what test was that? The United States government says we need to take a DNA test on all 3 of your children. The government took a DNA test on all 3 of those children. None of the children were his. This man came from Africa to have a better life for his wife and his family, came ahead of the family to secure housing, to secure a decent paying job, and to have a better life for him and his family. He bring his wife over here, come to find out all 3 of his children are not his. So this is one of the reasons I'm saying you better make sure that you check to make sure if this woman is pregnant or not before you marry a foreign wife. That's number one. Number two, you better make sure, this is extremely, extremely important. You better make sure that you do a HIV/AIDS test of your wife before you bring her over here or before you go over there. I suggest you go over there and live. But when you get over there, you better make sure that you have your wife, your future wife or fiance, take a HIV/AIDS test. You don't want to marry somebody and then find out later on they got HIV. Then you're going to have HIV, okay? Or AIDS. You follow what I'm saying? It is extremely important to make sure that you make sure that they have a HIV/AIDS test to make sure that they don't have it, okay? That's number two. Number three, religion. Now you might be asking, why is religion important? Religion is very important. If you are a Christian and she is Buddhist, you're going to have some problems when you're raising some kids. Most guys that's going overseas to find a wife, they're going to want to have children. Most men are going to want their children to be raised Christian. Now, there's some men out there that don't care. They may not care about the spirituality of their children or not. I don't know. But some men may not care. I know a lady right now. I know a woman. Her mother was Japanese. Her father was African American. Now, as the kids were growing up, the kids got, their religion was a fusion of Christianity and Buddhism. You cannot mix 2 religions together like that. You can if you want to. The kids are going to be confused. And one of the sisters of this woman that I know, that's exactly what she was doing. She was fusing together Christianity with Buddhism. And when she would talk to somebody, people would think she was crazy. Okay, so that's for that or any other particular religion. You know, you're going to have some problems if you're a Christian and you marry somebody that's Muslim. You're going to have some problems. You know, you two may get along with each other, but there's going to be problems when it comes down to how the kids are going to be raised and what religion. But like I said, it depends on if that's important to you or not. Most people, it is important. You're going to have some problems if you marry a Muslim woman. She wants to raise the kids to be Muslim. You want the kids to be raised to be Christian. It's going to be a big problem. It's going to be a big problem, so much so that I have heard situations where the wife, who may have been Muslim, or the husband, who may have been Muslim, just all of a sudden decides that they're going to go visit their parents back home, and they're going to take the kids with them. And you're like, okay, well, when you coming back? Oh, I'll be back in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, and I want my parents to see my kids. And you're like, okay, all right, bye. You kiss her. She goes, gets on the plane with your 2 or 3 kids. And then, all right, so The third week passed. You call your wife. You're like, well, when you coming back? She tells you when she's in another country, she's not coming back. He's like, what do you mean you're not coming back? It's like I said, I'm not coming back. She wants her kids to be raised Muslim. You want your kids to be raised Christian. Well, there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it if she done took the kids to another country. You think you're going to go over there and get them? You might be able to do that, but ain't no telling how much money you're going to spend to be able to get your kids back. Okay, the wife could do that to you, or it could be a woman that's married to a Muslim guy. He may know that you're a Christian but he wants the kids to be raised Muslim. So he goes back home, takes the kids with him, and never brings them back. Now, how are you going to deal with that? They may think the same way that you think. They may think that's crazy. How are you going to take two religions and mix them together? And then when the person talks to another person about it, the person sounds like they're crazy mixing two religions together, okay? You have one God of one religion, you got another God for another religion. These are things that you may want to take in consideration. That's extremely, extremely important for you to discuss with the person. And also remember too, make sure you talk to the person as much as possible. Make sure you talk to the person as much as possible. Remember what I stated before. Watch and pray, watch and pray, watch and pray. Ask the Lord, what type of person is this that you're considering marrying? And the Lord will tell you if that person is right for you or not. Now, like, share, subscribe, and peace.